good thing if you've got a building to use the position. And I'll show you the Can you see if you can get me the exhibits from next door? I'll show you the things. You can show me any person. No, show the thing that's been hostage to restraint as well. I'm not hiding it, and I don't lie. That's the first thing I'll say to you. And I'm getting kind of, to the point of saying I'm going to walk off from this and let somebody else come in here and do the same thing, because there's been so much misrepresented online.
I'll show you something.
Joe, the purpose of the press briefing on Wednesday was to say that the evidence that Lenny Harper has gathered indicates there's no murder there. There is still a child abuse complaint, and that's what we're trying to forward. And if that hadn't sidestepped everything, and if this had been done properly, we'd be a lot further forward.
You're bending. No, you're little.
There's the items. If you could find me somebody who says anywhere, people you know, because they should have been shown to people to say, are those the items you're talking about? And nobody has been shown them, has said anything like that has been used on them. What's literally happened is someone has gone round a building. We can show you the statements of people who've done that, and have said, and then people have come along and said the restraints. But nobody, not even Lenny Harper, is saying that particular thing has tied in. Look, your arguments will come between it. You just don't fit in it. A person who's identified it as a builder because no one has said, I've been restrained by it. It's a bit different. If somebody says, I've been shackled up by something metal, and I've done something, you can go to it and say, is this the shackle? Go and describe the shackle to us. This thing has been lying around in rubble for years and years. It's a piece of guttering. It is factual. It is a piece of guttering.
Where was that found?
That was found in the rubble underneath the kind of foyer entry, the far end of the west wall.
Does that not raise a question as to why there was a piece of guttering underneath the ground?
When you look at, I suppose,
Guttering's for roofs.
Yeah, but when you look at the rest of the rubble there, of when you've moved things, well, can we get this under way? Because what I want to say to you is, I'm not your enemy. What we're here is to bring it on. Ever since we've come, we've met with you, and we've always explained what's going on. The reason I'm kind of getting frustrated here is because what we're doing is actually presenting the evidence. And today I wanted to go through the conference again as it went out, because again that's got misrepresented. But you kind of all looking now, suddenly you don't believe me for some reason, and I really don't understand that. And why would on earth I do that?
We don't know.
Do they pay your wages?
No, they don't pay my wages at all. I'm a Lancashire person, and they don't pay my wages, and that's a complete and total lie. I'm seconded here, and I can walk out at any particular time I want. They do not pay my wages. I get paid at a Lancashire rate, which is nowhere near Lancashire, and within a few months I'm walking away off the island. I've no links here, and I'm determined here, as long as I'm allowed, and I can work within what's going on with people doing all sorts of weird things online, to do a professional job. But at any moment I'll walk out the door and I'll leave, and the next person you get from the UK will come along and do exactly the same, because there's just a way of doing this. I'm not dense, I'm nothing to do with Jersey, and I'm not corrupt, and I'm fed up with people saying it. Exactly the same as probably in your shoes is where you've been saying for years, I was abused, and no one believed you. I'm beginning to understand your frustration at that, because I'm sitting here talking to you, I'm showing to you something, there is no evidence anybody has said I've been shackled by anything like that.
So going on the tally and showing all of this, how do you think that made everybody in this room feel? Do you think it was done in a way that would stop people feeling bad, or do you think it was done in a way that would be detrimental towards people's health, their mental health?
Well, I think the way things have been dealt with here, at the very beginning, from the time the things that happened to you, straight through, has been far from first class. The reason we had to go to hold the press conference this week was for legal reasons, is that the people who are in court are being linked to things that did not happen. And we have got a legal argument to say, and again I'll come to the kind of personal side of it in a minute. There is a legal argument to say that because of the abuse of process, because of the way the media have reported things, that the people in charge cannot go through the court process. That's the reason, and the only reason, that the conference was held. What we said and what we did was, we said first of all, let me go back to the first thing that was raised. There's no human bone whatsoever had been found, and that's from Lenny Harper's own scientists. There are 3 possible pieces. The biggest is 25 millimetres long. They're not saying it's definitely human, and again, I'm not even reporting this myself anymore. I'm directing the press towards the actual doctors and the people who are saying it. Any of the bones that they're saying that possibly are human are dated between 1470 and 1670. These are what's been referred to as the shackles, and no one's saying. And the point is, with all the kind of things, is that what should have happened is people should have had statements taken off them, and none of the things and none of the press should have been inside the buildings. Because what should have happened if somebody has come along and said I was shoved into a cellar or something, without it being in the press, they should have been taken to Holt around to see it, to point it out, to go through it. But as soon as what's happened, and you will know people concerned maybe, as things have happened, some people have yielded the lily, and some people have come forward when they've never actually been to Holt in their lives. And that's the problem. And you, to be fair, you said it to me before.
Yeah.
So the whole point of this
Jumping
is...
on the bandwagon.
Exactly. And the whole point of this is to clear that rubbish out of the way, because if there isn't any evidence, it's gone. And that's not just myself saying it. And also, now I've come out and said this, I've got to say this for the rest of my life. And I've got a guy up there in Scotland